Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us in this Malta Tourism Authority training session. My name is Peter Green. I am the trade trainer for Visit Malta and the Malta Tourism Authority. And I'm just going to start off by saying a big thank you to TTG for having us here for their Digital Destination Festival. Some of you will have joined us yesterday for our scuba diving. Today, I'm going to take you through Malta and our islands 2021 and some of the things that are coming up in the future and some of our kind of focus points here at the Malta Tourism Authority. So just going to get the presentation up for you and we will fire straight in. Perfect. So yeah, just a little bit about me. I used to work in Thomas Cook Retail for about 6 years before moving to the head office in their product department, looking after North Africa and Malta. So this lovely country has always been close to my heart. So I'm just going to start off by probably the kind of important key messages. So it only seems to right to start with the current statistics on the island. So tourism has been reopened for a couple of months now. I won't lie to you, we did see a spike in some of the cases as the tourism reopened. That's only natural. It happened throughout pretty much some of the other countries here in Europe. But through this, hospitalizations were really, really low, and that's because of our vaccine leading rollout. We were the first EU country to reach the recommended international herd immunity levels. And actually, as it stands, we vaccinated pretty much 90% of our population with their first doses, and 87% are completely fully vaccinated. And the current rollout also includes children over 12 for those that wish as well. So our efforts have been recognized by the UK government, and as such, again, we're on the green list, and we have been on the green list for a couple of months now. So just quickly, I'm going to go through the entry requirements for you, specifically for England and Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland and Ireland. You can find the information on our website. So England, Wales, you must be fully vaccinated and have had at least 14 days since your vaccination. You can travel with the NHS digital travel pass, or you can print off the vaccine travel certificate as well. The pre-flight to Malta, you need to complete the digital PLF form as standard. And then coming back, you also need to have a PCR or an antigen test no earlier than 3 days before your arrival back into the UK. We do have a list of test centres found on our Visit Malta website. And obviously, you've got the PLF form coming back into the UK as well. That's pretty much as standard. And then on top of that, you have your day 2 PCR test, again, as per the government guidelines. Again, more information can be found on our Visit Malta website or in our agent Facebook group. So moving into everything about Malta. So in April 2021, Malta's gastronomic excellence was further expanded with the second edition of the Michelin Guide, where we had 2 further restaurants added to the existing 3 Michelin star restaurants. We have 5 Michelin star restaurants, which is unheard of for a country the size of Malta. And alongside this, Heritage Malta is actually going to undertake its first taste history project to recreate several historical dishes that tell a story or an experience of the location or the premises within there. And this intertwines kind of our rich culinary experience and our unique history that Malta has to offer. And some of the dishes include a pasta-based dish called papiri, which pays homage to kind of our Italian roots. In there, we also have a jewel of hunted rabbit, which actually marks the hunting of hares from Medina, which is around the 16th century. And lastly, we also have the Malafanti tagine, which is actually a 300-year-old baking tradition of Lower Valletta and brings in our kind of North African fusion and culture in there as well. And in blue flag or beaches in general, Malta might not be known as a perfect beach destination, especially when you compare it to like the Costas or the Algarve, but we actually do have 11 blue flag beaches on the island. And some of these include St. George's Bay and Patchaville. We've got Bujaba Perch Beach. We've got Golden Sands and Gadira Bay, both in Melia. And we also have Marcel Forum and Ramla Bay up over in Gozo. And Malta's actually been praised for its sustainability efforts and commended in the manner in which we actually look after our beaches. And actually, some of these are some of the cleanest found in the Mediterranean basin. So if you're looking for, that kind of different beach holiday, 100% recommend Malta. And certainly one of the top tips that I can give, especially for the agents, is that a lot of these beaches have a really like sort of shallow entry point in there as well, which is perfect for your snorkeling and perfect for those wee ones, the families, maybe with the younger children that just want to go in and dip their toes in the water. Really, really nice way for them to enjoy that. So you don't have to worry about those steep drop offs, certainly for a good few meters out as well. So really, really nice little areas there for you to explore. And Malta is known for having an abundance of hotels ranging from small boutique properties right the way through to large luxurious accommodations. And 2021 is no different with our new additions to our portfolio. So first up, situated on the St. Barbara Bastion with spectacular views across Valletta's Grand Harbour, we have the Analia Harbour House. It is a uniquely designed 23-room property, and all the rooms are completely unique in themselves as well. And this is actually spread across 4 exquisite converted palazzos, which is the old nobility homes, and their vaults kind of below. You can also head over the water and beyond to the heart of Sliema and St. Julian's, and you can discover the stunning Hyatt Regency Hotel. It's a 151-room hotel that blends modern living right in the midst of the history of the area. And here you can relax at the rooftop pool, indulge in some alfresco dining, or even just enjoy the views out over the city and even to beyond. Perfect for those unforgettable sunsets. And lastly, we have the picturesque Baluta Bay area of St. Julian's. We have the Marriott Malta. It's recently undergone a multi-million euro refurbishment, and it boasts 5 restaurants, 3 bars, indoor and outdoor pools, as well as its M Club lounge with outdoor terraces and views right out over the Med. And 100% be sure to recommend Taro, which is their signature dining venue located in a 19th century palazzo. So I won't go into too much detail here, but these are just maybe some of our recommended places to stay. So obviously, number 1, Valletta. It is our capital of the island. It has been since the 16th century, and it's home to over 320 attractions. So it's perfect for those who want to stay right in the hub of the action. Here, you're going to find a blend of boutique kind of small properties and some exquisite 5-star properties located just outside the gates. We also then have Sliema and St. Julian's. Here you've got gracious townhouses that make way for a charming array of waterfront marinas, again, waterfront bars and restaurants and picturesque promenades sweeping all the way along the coastline. And in terms of hotels, here you'll find some 3 stars, some 4 stars, some 5 stars, a really good mix, including international chains and also locally run properties as well. And maybe something a little bit different is actually the old capital of Malta, which is Medina, known as the Silent City for its lack of basically traffic. Everyone gets around by either by foot or by carriage that you can see in the picture here. And for your customers, we've got a Michelin star restaurant located in Medina. But alongside that, if they want to stay in something that's maybe a little bit more authentic, then they can stay in these converted palazzos, which again are 17th century palaces. So some of them are, over 300 years old. So it's a real great way to experience authenticity. And lastly, we have Gozo. So we'll come on to Gozo a little bit later on, but no trip to Malta is complete without visiting Gozo. Here you've got a stunning selection of accommodations from boutique hotels of the capital of the island to the traditional farmhouses that are scattered throughout the countryside and the chic villas around the island. And maybe something, again, a little bit different, that maybe you don't really think about as an alternative city break and something away from the hustle and bustle of Valletta is actually the 3 cities. So here we have the individual areas of Vittoriosa, Senglia, and Cospicua, and they were left largely unvisited until recently when there was a waterfront project that put about 15 million euros into the area. And here we're starting to see hotels pop up, restaurants, wine bars, entertainment centers, and it's proved to be a great success for locals and tourists alike. So, and again, maybe a top tip for your customer is in order to see the area, maybe take part in a rolling Geeks tour. These are self-drive electric golf buggies that take you on a fascinating audio tour of the area, taking in the townhouses and those lovely squares, which has made this one of the most Instagrammable areas of the island. And I've done the tour myself. It's really, really fun. I will admit I didn't have a driver's license at the time, so they gave me the wheel for whatever reason, and I nearly crashed into a parked car, much to the delight of my instructor that was with me at the time. And this is maybe something that's come out of obviously the pandemic. So you're going to start seeing multi-generational holidays or bubble holidays. And that's obviously the people that formed a bubble throughout the past kind of 16 months. And they're going to maybe look for a villa. And again, Malta might not be your first port of call when going for a villa holiday. But again, specifically on the island of Gozo and even on the island of Malta, we have a large range of accommodations. We've got one bedrooms all the way through to large 6, 7 bedroom properties. And we've got traditional farmhouses all the way through to contemporary villas, which you can see here. And many of these properties have the basic necessities that you would expect of a villa holiday. You know, we've got the pool and the patio areas, we've got the barbecue facilities, parking for those that obviously will hire a car. And hiring a car is really easy in Malta because they drive on the left-hand side of the road, same as they do here in the UK. So you don't have to kind of get accustomed to that right-hand side kind of things. And all the signs are in English as well, with English being one of our official languages. They also come with fully equipped kitchens, and many of them offer terraces, balconies, and even rooftop lounging areas. So really, really perfect for those who just want to relax and take it easy with their family or their friends. And I said we'd come back onto Gozo, so a little bit about Gozo here. So Gozo actually means joy in Castilian, and for those kind of explorers that come to her shores, a relaxed stay here will invoke that sensation. We've got it's a vibrant sort of turbulent hotspot that, you know, the history has really shaped the island as one of the historical hotspots of the Mediterranean. So here you can discover the land of the giants at the Gigantia temples, which is one of our Neolithic heritage sites and actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And the word Gigantia is actually Maltese for giant because, as such as the size and impressive structure of these temples, it was rumored in legend that they were built by giants. So really, really worthwhile checking out for those history buffs. Alongside that, other civilizations have called Gozo home, so including the Byzantines, the Phoenicians, the Arabs, the French, just to name a few. And all of them have really shaped this landscape with their varying cultures. And that's evident all across the island, but also in the capital, Victoria. This majestic capital has been the center of activity since Neolithic times, and even since about 1500 BC. So, you know, the bastions here date back around 3,500 years, and really picturesque to climb up the bastions right up to the top, and you get clear views right out over the whole island and even over to Sicily on a clear day. And also on the island of Gozo, it's jam-packed full of adventure activities, which I'll come on to in a second. But it's also popped up recently as kind of becoming a wellness and yoga hotspot. So we have silent meditation retreats here. We also have the yoga sanctuaries. So if you've got someone that's looking for a wellness holiday, you can 100% recommend maybe going to Malta, having a few days, and then going over to Gozo as part of a multi-center. It's a really, really unique way to see most of the country. And I can't not talk about the inclusivity on the island. So Malta has been recognized and defined as one of the most inclusive nations in Europe and one of the top destinations in the world for the LGBT community. Since 2015, we've held the premier spot on the ILGA Rainbow Index. And since then, we've introduced gender identity acts. We legalized same-sex marriage in 2017. So we are one of the top destinations for same-sex weddings. And we also introduced gender-neutral passports in 2018. And because of this and because of our inclusivity record, we've actually been given the prestigious honor of hosting Europride in 2023. Europride is Europe's largest pride event, and in the past has drawn crowds of over 300,000 people. It was rumored even in Rome back a few years ago that 1 million people attended it. And to give you kind of some context on that, we have about a population of 455,000 in Malta. So if we get double our population descending on the islands, then that's going to be a really good year for tourism. And also new for this year, Visit Malta and the Malta Tourism Authority has joined ATAS, so the Association of Touring and Adventure Suppliers. And this is in response to our flourishing activity-based tourism market that we have to offer. So for those of you that joined yesterday, it's well known that we are the #1 dive destination in Europe and consistently voted the #2 dive destination worldwide. Alongside this, other activities have begun to flourish, such as rock climbing and abseiling on Gozo. So there's over 300 spots, which vary in difficulty from beginners to the more extreme rock faces. We've also seen a rise in popularity in other water sports, including kayaking and stand-up paddleboarding. I mean, I don't know about you, but it seems everyone's got a stand-up paddleboard at the moment. So we actually now have stand-up paddleboard tours, which take you around the coastlines and even around Valletta's Grand Harbour. And it's a really unique way to see these landscapes from a kind of different point of view. For those that obviously prefer to stay above the water or maybe want to stay on land, we have Jeep tours, quad bike tours, tuk-tuk tours, horseback riding. We've got a really strong cycling scene, which ranges from gentle coastline trails to more intense mountain biking routes. And maybe something that's a little bit different, and this is kind of my personal opinion, but we're actually an unknown surfing location due to the winds that come up from North Africa. They create these really beautiful swells and breaks, especially around the west of the island and also the southeast of the island as well. And that is my 15 minutes up. So I just wanted to take the time now to say thank you for your attention today. I know I've kind of ran through that really quickly, but if you have any questions, by all means, please reach out to me. If you're looking for any social media content, imagery, etc., again, we can supply you with that for your markets and your pages. We also have our training platform for www.malta-training.com, which has our niches and also more general ones. And I believe Maddie's going to come back and join me now, and howhopefully I'll be able to answer any questions that you might have. So thank you again, and yeah, ask away.
I am. Hello.
Hi, how's it
Thank
going?
you. Good. Thank you very much for the presentation.
It's all right, yeah.
Yeah, whistle stop tour of Malta there.
A little bit, yeah. It's just there's so much to cram in. Like it's really difficult to do something in 15 minutes, especially when it's covering all the whole island. So yeah, but
Yeah,
hopefully
absolutely.
everyone got something out of that.
Cool. Okay, we've had a few questions come in.
Mm.
Denise is asking, what are the entry protocols for children?
Okay, so for children, children that are under 5 do not have any protocols or requirements. They can just travel as it is. Children between 5 and 11 will need a negative PCR test no earlier than 72 hours before their flight out to Malta. Or sorry, their arrival time into Malta. So, and then, yeah, as I say, anyone from 12 and up does need to be fully vaccinated. So I know I do appreciate that there is some families with teens who might not be able to come to Malta at this current time, but depending how our vaccine rollout goes here in the UK, then that might change in the future. And with us being an all year round destination, obviously we can be thought of for potentially October half term and even those Christmas holidays in there as well.
Great, thanks. Another entry related or vaccine related question is from Sarah. Is Malta accepting those vaccinated with the Indian produced vaccine now?
So what it was, this was kind of like 6 weeks ago. So there was 3 batches of the AstraZeneca one, which I think was like the 001, 002, and 003, which wasn't recognized to start with, but they've now been approved by the EMA. So we are accepting those ones. So on the actual vaccine certificate, it will say, AstraZeneca, and then there's a type of vaccine, and it's called Vaxrexia, and that is the one that's allowed. The COVID Shield one at the moment doesn't allow you access, but I'm led to believe that no one in the UK has been given this COVID Shield one yet. But no, certainly as long as it says that Vaxrexia AstraZeneca vaccine, then you're absolutely fine, and there's no restrictions on that.
Great, thank you. And another question from Sarah about Gozo.
Yes.
Is a day trip to the island long enough to see the main sites and take in the highlights?
100%. Yeah. I mean, you can do it as a day trip or you can do it as an overnight stay as well. So even on a day trip, the ferry itself is 25 minutes over. So it's not long at all from up in the north of the island. And there's even a fast ferry now from Valletta. So you can get from either the Valletta side of the island or the north of the island. Once you pull into Magar, you can head over to Victoria. You can go up and see the bastions. You can, have a bit of food, see the history and the archaeology around there. From there, you can go up to Ramla Bay or you can go up to Marsalform Bay and see the beaches if you want to have a couple of hours chilling out. We have the salt pans up there, which is quite a unique experience. And if you want to maybe do something a little bit different, you can go to the vineyards and spend a couple of hours learning about the vineyards and even having a taster session, which is always nice because we always want to try wine. And also, that's a really unique experience because we don't export wine really. We only produce enough that stays on the island. So you can actually only have Maltese wine in Malta. So if you've got, those sommeliers or those wine connoisseurs that want to try something unique, 100% recommend going over. So you can do day trips. We've done day trips before on previous, fam trips that we've led out there, and the agents still loved everything that we've shown them. But again, day trips or overnight stays are absolutely perfect for Gozo.
Great. And Helen is asking about mobility hire companies. Are you able to talk a little bit about that and share a list afterwards?
Yeah, I can certainly source one for you and get that. I know there is some hotels that even have, limited mobility scooters that they can rent to you, certainly, especially around Bujuba and Aura. And the great thing about some of the hotels is they are waterfront and all the promenades are very flat all the way across. things like Valletta, Valletta can be quite steep and there is some steps in there, but you can still get around easy enough. But certainly the resorts themselves as well. The promenade fronts are really flat and they're really nice for a walk, or obviously if you're in a scooter driving around there. And again, there's a abundance of hotels. But yeah, certainly if she wants to email me directly, or if I can get her email, I can share that across, or I can even give it to you guys and you can distribute it out through your list. So that's not an issue.
Absolutely. Thanks very much. I think we've just got time for one more question before we move on. Alison is asking, which tour operators are offering spa holidays for the trade?
Oh God, that's a good question. I don't think I've ever actually even looked into that. I would need to search into that,
Yeah,
to be fair, and find that. So it was Helen. Helen, I will get that information for you, and I can send that across if you want to send me an email. So it's just peter.green@visitmalta.com. I'll get that for you, and I'll send that across to you directly.
great. Thanks so much. Will you pop your email in the chat as well? As a couple of people that have asked for your
Of
address there.
course, yeah, absolutely. I will do that right now.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
No, that's quite right.
Thanks, Peter. And if everyone has answered all the questions in the poll tab, we're now ready to move on to Visit Central Florida in Training Room 5.